Hey there everybody, it's markcrilley. I'm back with another video. Today I'm continuing my complete read-through of the very first comic that I ever made, The Beast That Ate Morioka. I made one more video in this series previously, about 1 month ago, in which we read through pages 1 through 5, and now we're going to jump in and do 6 through 10. Now where we ended up last time was this panel, where our main character, Hiroki Okada, took his giant creature that he invented here called Snorky, along with his friend Carrot Boy, to get the help of this professor, Professor Watanabe, who, upon seeing the creature, fainted dead away. And basically that's where things ended, and now we're going to continue and see what happens next. Part 6. When Professor Watanabe wakes up and realizes that his life is not in danger, he and Snorky get to know one another. Amazing, he can eat anything.
Yes, but he seems to prefer things made out of metal.
Indeed, he won't even take a nibble out of this book.
That's why we need your help, sir. We're running out of things to feed him.
Yeah, I don't have any more bicycles. Professor Watanabe agrees to help the boys and leads them to a little-known room in the back of the agriculture building. No one ever goes in this room. It's where we used to keep our elephants.
I never knew there were elephants at Iwate University. What happened to them?
We were performing a series of experiments involving various breakfast foods. The natto killed them.
Well, Snorky, what do you think of your new home?
Snark! But remember, keep your lips sealed about this. The three of us are the only ones who know about Snorky, and we should keep it that way. Little do they know, their secret has already been discovered. Now, as I did last time, I'm going to take a break at the end of each page and sort of talk about different things. This was sort of an in-joke. I was an English teacher at the time, so I have the English book, and Snorky is refusing to eat it. Lots of inside jokes in this story that, or maybe people who are familiar with Japanese culture are the only ones that would get them. Like if you know about natto, which is a fermented bean curd, famously hard for non-Japanese people to enjoy. Although, having said that, I bet a lot of people say, I love natto. And we eat natto in the Crilly family quite regularly, but that was sort of a joke there, that the natto was enough to kill the elephants that they used to have in this room. Anyway, as you can see, we are introducing a bad guy character here, and it's time to move on to that page where we really get a kind of crash course in who this guy is. Part 7. Who is this mysterious man spying on our heroes? Where did he come from? And what are his intentions? For the answers to those questions, we must go back in time to the year 1973. At that time, Kaneo Kondo was an innocent young boy, much like any other boy in Morioka.
Yep, I really cleaned up today.
One fateful day, Kaneo saw a man coming out of a pachinko parlor with his winnings. From that day on, Kaneo became obsessed with money, winning it, cheating for it, anything but working for it. At the age of 14, he began to play pachinko all night long. At 16, he dropped out of school in order to play during the day as well. After playing pachinko continually for 3 years and never winning more than 500 yen, Kaneo turned to a life of crime. He became very skillful as a shoplifter and pickpocket, then made a small fortune stealing umbrellas that people left outside of shops on the Odori. He made his big mistake when he tried to rob Iwate Bank disguised as Anpan Man.
Okay, hand over the dough, and don't try anything funny.
This landed him 10 years in jail. Upon his release, he took the only job he could find, assistant janitor at Iwate University. So, it should come as no surprise that as he gazes upon Snorky, there is only one thing on his mind. Now, I almost have to apologize about this page because I feel like I would never do it this way. This is definitely an example of telling instead of showing. I mean, like right here, this is almost unforgivable, this huge paragraph of text. It's like comic book creator gives up on illustrating the story and just writes it all out. But anyway, it was a way of cramming a lot of info into a single page. I wonder if people know about pachinko, this sort of gambling game. This is an actual dollar bill. I want to say dollar bill, but it's not. It's a yen bill that I scanned into a, I don't know how I got it in there, but anyway, I didn't draw all that stuff. And then Anpan Man, I don't know if you guys know this, a child's character, TV cartoon character. And I thought it was kind of silly that he's robbing the bank with that mask on. And basically, yeah, that gets you all caught up to Kaneo Kondo. And Kane is for money, so I chose that name quite deliberately. But it is apparently a real name, or could be, Kaneo. Now, let's continue to part 8. Wow, look how big Snorky is getting. I forgot how large he got so quickly. 1 week later, Professor Watanabe is keeping Snorky well fed on a steady diet of chairs, discarded appliances, and empty cans of Georgia coffee. He sure is growing. How big do you think he'll get? That's hard to say. Hopefully not much bigger. I'm afraid if he gets too big too fast, we might be in for trouble. What do you mean? Well, for one thing, I have a feeling that his brain isn't growing as fast as his stomach. If that is the case, his stomach might take over the brain's functions, and Snorky could become a mindless eating machine. That sounds pretty scary. It certainly does. That's why I've started experimenting with this. Wasabi? Exactly. It seems to have a stabilizing effect on his growth. In fact, I have a theory that if we fed him a large quantity of wasabi, we might even be able to drop it, Watanabe! Bum, bum, bum! I'm sorry, I had to throw in the music there. But actually, after a page that I felt embarrassed about, this page, I have to say, I'm rather pleased with. You can see me starting to plan things out a little bit here with the wasabi. We have the idea that this is foreshadowing or kind of spelling it out here that if he keeps eating, the stomach might take over. So we know what the stakes are, and we need to control Snorky's growth. Wasabi, everyone these days knows what wasabi is. For some reason, that struck me as a funny sort of antidote to his growth. And I always thought it was kind of funny, the idea of, drop the wasabi! Watanabe. And that's enough about that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next part here. Part 9. It takes a moment for Professor Watanabe to recognize Kaneo Kondo, for he'd never paid much attention to the man before. Kondo, the janitor. Janitor? You must be mistaken, pal. I'm through with sweeping floors. I'm a businessman now. And that big animal of yours is my business. Okay. I'll take care of the professor and the funny-looking schoolboys. You guys tie up the animal and get him out of here. What are you going to do to him? Relax, kid. I ain't gonna hurt him. I'm just gonna make a little money off of him. You don't know what you're messing around with here, Kondo. This animal could become vicious. Don't worry about me, Watanabe. When it comes to money, I know exactly what I'm doing. Kondo's thugs take Snorky out of the room to a truck waiting outside. At gunpoint, Watanabe is forced to give Kondo his key to the room. You guys are lucky, actually. I'm not going to shoot you. I'm just going to lock you in here and let you starve to death. After Kondo leaves, I don't want to starve to death. Don't worry, boys. There's enough natto in this room to keep us alive for weeks. So, getting kind of silly. But yeah, you can see the plot starts to ratchet up quite quickly here in parts 8 and 9. And I don't know why I'm doing this like a New York gangster voice for Kaneo Kondo. He's supposed to be Japanese, but anyway, that's the only voice I could come up with. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way this one worked out, and we see what's at stake, and we start to get nervous about what's going to happen next. Because I have a feeling Kaneo Kondo is not going to be very wise in the way that he takes care of this animal. Now, this is going to be our last page for now. Let's jump into it. Part 10. Carrot Boy suggests that they could chew their way through the rope. No one can think of a better plan, so they agree to give it a try. Yuck! Do you really think this will work?
Trust me, I saw them do this in a comic book once. At that very moment, Kaneo Kondo is holding a special press conference in hopes of publicizing Snorky. To put it in a nutshell, Snorky is going to be the biggest thing to hit Morioka since the Shinkansen. Questions?
Mr. Kondo, when will the public have a chance to see Snorky?
I'm glad you asked me that. I'll be unveiling Snorky next Sunday at the baseball stadium. Tickets are now on sale at the low, low price of 50,000 yen.
That's around $500.
Doesn't that seem a little bit steep, Mr. Kondo? Listen, pal, Snorky's the discovery of the century. You think I'm going to let people see him for free? Besides, kids under 5 years of age get in for 49,000 yen. Meanwhile, our heroes have broken free from the ropes and are eating dinner. If I eat any more natto, I'm going to puke. Oh. Hang in there, boys. We're in luck. Underneath these floor tiles is nothing but dirt. That means we can tunnel our way out of here.
Great! How long do you think it'll take?
About 2 weeks. And that is where we're going to have to wind things down. One thing I could explain, the Shinkansen is the Japanese word for what we call the bullet train. And Morioka at that time was the final stop on the bullet train track. Now they have since continued past Morioka, so it's not such a big deal. But at that time, it was very important, the tourism and so forth of people who coming in by way of the bullet train. And yeah, maybe that's going to be enough for now. I really hope you're enjoying my read-through here of the entire comic. We will keep going video by video until you are able to get all the way to the end of the story. But for now, I just want to thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one real soon.